I have had the amazing opportunity to travel quite a lot in my 22 years of life, as short as that might be. While I've only been out of the country twice, I've traveled in the US enough to have a real passion and yearning for traveling. So, over the next few minutes, I'll explain how traveling has helped me grow and why it's so important to me. So, I first started to travel because of gymnastics. We have gymnastics meets all over Oregon, and our coach would make a point to take us to at least one out of state meet each year. Every now and then we would have two or three meets, but usually it was just one. So we went to places like Hawaii, San Jose, Florida, Idaho, Las Vegas, and Texas, just to kind of name a few. Here's a photo of us actually in Hawaii. We spent about a week in Hawaii and had a 3-day meet there, and it was awesome and a great experience, and I'm really, really grateful for my team. That's my coach with the blonde hair. So while most of our trip was spent in a gymnasium, we always made sure that we had some time to see the local attractions, whether it was going to Disney World or hiking up Diamond Head in Oahu. We always were out making new experiences. So as you can see here, this is Diamond Head. It's right in Waikiki Beach. We stayed in Waikiki, and after our meet, we decided to go hike it, and it was an amazing view. So after gymnastics, I realized that I still wanted to have awesome experiences like that, and so here's why. There are 3 main reasons that I have a passion for traveling. I love to learn about and experience different cultures. It helps me to get out of my comfort zone by allowing me to have fun and scary experiences. And it's given me the opportunity to meet new people and learn about their experiences. So being able to learn about different cultures and demographics is really important for both my personal growth and in my ability to create experiences for other people. So last year, right after Hurricane Maria, I went to Puerto Rico and experienced a huge culture shock compared to my little hometown in Oregon. Nearly 3/4 of the homes had blue tarps for a roof, and giant freeway signs had been knocked over, and just general hurricane-ness there. And I think the biggest thing that stuck out to me was how abandoned everything looked. People simply got up and left, and it was really kind of a quiet, eerie place to be during that time. However, in talking to the locals, I realized how resilient and accepting they were. And it really opened up my eyes to the idea that no matter what you're going through and no matter where you are, you can always see positives in a situation. And I think that's really beautiful. Another culture that I've come to adapt to and love and have loved is the culture of LA, specifically Hollywood. My aunt lives in Hollywood, and I try to visit every year or so. And over time, I've gained kind of a love and adoration for the people. Many of the people have moved from other places and don't have much family there. So what I've noticed is that people latch onto friends and tend to create kind of a quasi-family of their own, and I think that's really nice. The second reason I love traveling and that it's so important to me is because it's given me the opportunity to really get out of my comfort zone and experience things that I normally wouldn't do or experience. So, for instance, in my trip to Puerto Rico, I don't speak a lot of Spanish. I did in high school for a few years, but it's been years since I've actually spoken it. And so it kind of scared me at first, thinking that going to a new country that I don't understand the language and I don't know where I'm going and I don't know anywhere. So it kind of scared me at first, but looking back at the experience retrospectively, I realized how much this has really built my confidence to travel and how it kind of pushes me to go to more places that I really don't understand. So, for example, when I was in Hawaii with my family, we had about 4 hours to kill before boarding our flight, and we ended up at this little private beach, kind of off the beaten path, kind of near the airport. Actually, it's pictured here. So this is the little beach that we found. And so rather than just looking for a well-known beach or a tourist activity or something like that, we just kind of drove around and happened upon it. And it turned into one of my favorite memories on that trip because it was just such a cool little location, and they had this little hut you can see, and it was just absolutely gorgeous. And so I think it's also a bit of an eye-opening experience to be somewhere where you're not 100% relying on yourself and don't have kind of a backup support system in the event of something goes wrong. So if you use your wallet, you have to be really careful about losing things and stuff like that. And I think it helps me realize that it's really important to protect the things that I own, and it's important to protect myself when you're out there. The third reason that traveling is so important to me and my growth is because it gives me the opportunity to meet new people and learn about their life experiences. So regardless of where I go, I always try to make an effort to meet people and learn about their experiences. So to give you an example, my family made friends with a guy named James in Hawaii many years ago, probably 10, 15 years ago. And this last year that we went, I had the amazing opportunity to get to meet him and hear about his stories. So in his younger years, he wasn't the greatest person and he made a lot of mistakes. However, he decided to start a new life in Hawaii and kind of just picked up everything. He lived in California and he picked up and moved to Hawaii and is now a very successful photographer. He takes amazing underwater photographs and has met some really amazing people. And I think it just really goes to show that, like, no matter where you come from, no matter what you're going through, you can always turn your life into a different direction. I've also learned a lot from friends and family that I've made in LA. So I love hearing where people came from and the journey that they took to get where they are today. Whether they started out successful, struggled until they were successful, or they're still figuring out who they are. I think it's really cool to hear everyone's stories. I mean, there's 7 billion stories out there to hear, and I could not get enough of them. So there you have it. There are the reasons that I gained a yearning to travel, and it helps me understand people both on a personal level and on a cultural level. And it really helps me get out of my comfort zone so that I can have spontaneous and exciting adventures and be able to come home and share those with people. And I think it's pretty awesome. And I imagine that as I get older and more daring, I'll travel farther and have more to talk about.